In the world of geopolitics, it can get really depressing because those who does analysis like myself, geopolitics, you see things happening basically in slow motion, and you wonder, policymakers, leaders, the elites, do they really understand what's going on? I wasn't born in Africa. I'm from the diaspora. My ancestors left Africa, what, some, well, kidnapped from Africa over 400 years ago. But we, the ascendants or descendants, some people might say, of those Africans that were forcibly removed from the continent, we see Africa as, I don't know, the motherland, I guess. We look to Africa as a guide. Some people might not understand. It's okay. In due time, maybe in generation, you'll understand that. But I want to talk about what's going on, especially in West Africa. So after that long diatribe, let's move into what is happening. In northern Benin, there have been numerous attacks. General Chiani mentioned in his interview earlier this month that, or last month, February, that the whole of northern Benin is controlled by terrorists. And I think a few people are finding out that how come we've invited these so-called these foreign forces, and then terrorism is growing. It is attacking the population. This week, there have been multiple attacks in the north of Benin. There are reports of huge casualties among the military, and that the terrorists have taken over military barracks. And we know that the General Chiani mentioned that these French forces are there in the north, and terrorism continues to grow. And this is what caused the attempted coup d'etat in Benin last year. And we see the panic response from ECOWAS, the elites in West Africa, from Nigeria. We see basically the panic response from the French and other imperialist forces. So therefore, Benin is slowly being taken over by terrorists. This destabilization plan, in my opinion, is decades in the making. Ever since 1990, ever since the 1990s, they've decided, or the 2000s, they've decided they need to reshape these regions, balkanize these regions, make it unstable because the population is growing. Population will be more educated. People will desire their birthright, control of their natural resources, development, sovereignty, freedom. And therefore, this plan is being put in motion in slow put in motion in slow motion. But the AES, these countries in the Sahel, is putting basically threw a monkey wrench in this plan, in my opinion. And it seems like they're moving with this plan still because it's like Thomas Sankara said, imperialism is a bad student. It does the same thing over and over. It never changes its ways. It does the same thing. Yeah, the tactics and the method of deception might change, but they always do the same thing to pin pin population against each other, cause insecurity. You know, if they can't do that, then they'll take your leaders out, they attack you. So what do we do going forward? This is a tough one because I believe the majority of the population is not ready. Wherever we are throughout the world, wherever we're scattered throughout the world, and not this doesn't just um, represent the African peoples of the world, but the world in general. A lot of us, we're not ready yet. We've gotten to a place that we think is comfortable. Now, a lot of us, we're losing this comfortable life, and we don't know what to do because over the past 30 years, there have been no real grassroots movements in what you would call the conceptual West and also Western controlled, countries. There's no grassroots movement to educate the population, to create true activism for freedom and equality and for development of our nations. So we have to move in this sphere. These leaders and these politicians, these elites, are not going to change. So it's up to us, the population of wherever we are, to start movements, start speaking, like speaking online now, speaking, speaking to each other, educate each other. We don't need to talk about politics. Politics will always divide. Politics only play in the game of stagnation, in my opinion. So therefore, grassroots movement, we need to start talking to each and understand that nothing happens in a vacuum. Nothing at all happens in a vacuum. If a foreign country want to put their military base in your country, it is not because they think they can bring you security. It is not because they care about you. This is my opinion. I believe it is not because they think they can change your nation for the better. They're there for their own interest. They're there for their natural resources. They're there to protect their own interests, even if their interest is your destabilization. Therefore, no foreign military base, of course. These are the things we should demand. But also, movement need to go further to bring forth new leadership, new development concept, new economic concept, if we should go in that sphere, and the unity of the African continent and where, for example, the unity. Let's start with like West Africa, the unity of West Africa. ECOWAS haven't been able to do that, so we see the Alliance of Sahel say Confederation is doing that. They've made tremendous progress, but that is not enough, not even close. They need to go further into like federation and so forth, but they need to develop their capabilities, whether it's in security, economic, political, cultural, because these are the things that will hold the people together. So therefore, if we see what is happening in the Middle East with this new war that has broken out, the effect on Africa that is not involved in this conflict is going to be and probably already be very bad. Not just Africa, in the Caribbean, we have these small islands that they call countries, 1 million people, 2 million people. You have a country like Guyana, not even a million people, rich with oil, rich with natural resources, but yet still there's extreme poverty. Therefore, can we rise with movement that will give us the political will to unite our efforts, unite our little small countries or economies to provide for our population? And I said this, what is happening in the world where these big countries are trying to bully everybody? You cannot bully forever. Therefore, this is not sustainable. So therefore, reaching out to people in the West, in the conceptual West, movements, hopefully we see a lot of movement for activist movement and so forth. Reach out to them, people to people, so there we can cause change, because it will not change unless the population of a lot of these countries change. So ladies and gentlemen, this is my thought, and we will see you in the next one.